Hello students, this is Miss Dalton and this video is on the cube root function. So to begin, remember that the cube root function is just going to be the inverse of the cubic function. So remember, the cubic function is just y equals x to the third, and the cube root function is going to be this right here. So let's go ahead and start working on our table. So we're going to plug in -8 for x. So if you take the cube root of -8, when you have an odd index right here, you can do the radical of that. So the cube root of -8 is actually -2. So this is different than the square root. Square root, when you take the square root of a negative, you get a non-real solution. But for cube root, you'll just get the negative of the number. So the the cube root of -2 is actually a decimal. So we're not going to include that in our graph right here. I'm just going to write down decimal or abbreviate it. Now when you do the cube root of -1, that gives you -1. The cube root of 0 is 0. The cube root of 1 is +1. The cube root of 8 is 2. And the cube root of 27 is 3. And so those are our values. So we have the points that we can graph are -8, -2. -1, -1. 0, 0. 1, 1. 8, 2. And then 27, 3 would be off my graph. Now this does actually curve a little bit. So on the top part, it curves this way. And on the bottom part, it curves like this. So it kind of looks like a really flat S. So notice that what you filled into the table is that you can do the cube root of negatives and positives. Now, if you're trying to do this in your calculator, you can hit math for cube root to get the cube root of something. You hit math, and I believe it's number, let's see, it's number 4. Okay. The domain for this, because on the left side it goes on forever and on the right side it goes on forever, then the domain is just all real numbers. Or you could write it as interval -infinity to +infinity. The range, because this does gradually go down and this gradually goes up, it's also going to be all real numbers. So this is going to be real easy because every domain and range is going to be all real numbers for cube roots. Now the transformations for a cube root function are the same as our other functions that we've studied, and so these are not going to change. If a is negative, then it reflects over the x-axis. If a is greater than 1, that's a vertical stretch by a. I just abbreviated that. If a is less than 1, that's a vertical compression by a. And then h moves it left and right, and k moves it up and down. Okay, when you are graphing cube root functions, the point hk is going to be your middle point. So this is an important point as well for the cube root function. That's your middle point. We call that an inflection point. So rather than it being the vertex, it's called an inflection point. And then you want to use your table to list 2 other points. Now remember, your perfect cube roots, you can take the cube root of 0, and that gives you 0. You can take the cube root of 1, and that gives you 1. and then the cube root of 8, and that gives you 2. And so our goal is to make sure that we can get these values under the radical, and then we'll be able to graph it. Now, on the other hand, the cube root of a -1 is equal to -1, and the cube root of -8 is equal to -2. And so those are some other options. Okay, so let's start with this first one, A. So our HK, since there's nothing in here with X, then it's going to be 0, and I'm going to put that right in the middle, 0, -4. This is my inflection point. Now I'm going to pick some values on either side of it. So I want this on the inside, I want it to equal -1, so I'd want to plug in -1. I also want this on the inside to equal -8, so I'm going to plug in a -8. On the right side, I want this to be equal to 1, so I'm going to plug in a 1, and I also want it to equal 8, so I'm going to plug in a +8. And now just go ahead and do that. The cube root of -8 is -2. Then I have to multiply it by a negative, so that's +2, and then I would subtract 4, so that would give me -2. Now let's go ahead and plug in -1. So I'd have the cube root of -1, which is -1, then I would multiply by a negative, which makes it +1, and then I would subtract 4, so that would give us -3. Now let's plug in a 1. If I plug in 1, I'll have a cube root of 1, which is 1. Then I multiply it by a negative. Now it's -1. Then I subtract 4, and that gives me -5. And then I can do 8 as well. So I'll plug in the cube root of 8 is 2, multiplied by a negative is -2. -2 minus 4 is -6. And now I can graph it. So -8, -2, -1, -3, then I'd have 0, -4, 1, -5, and 8, -6. Okay, so notice this side is going to curve like this, and this side is going to curve like this. And you can tell the transformations, if I go back to the original equation, the negative makes it reflect over x, and it should move down 4. And it did. Domain and range are all real numbers for cube root functions. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. In this next one, our HK is -6, +1. So let's figure out values that are going to make this equal to, let's start with -1. So in order for that to equal -1, I would have to have -7. I also want this to equal a -8. So in order to make that equal to -8, that would have to be, let's see, -14 should give you -8, because -14 plus 6 is -8. On the other side, it should be the same numbers, but it should just be the positive. So positive, actually no, I'm sorry, let's backtrack on that. What would make this equal +1? It would have to be a -5. And then for this to equal a -8, I'm sorry, for this to equal a +8, it would have to be a 2. All right, so let's go ahead and plug those values in. When you plug in a negative 14, you're going to have the cube root of negative 14 plus 6. Negative 14 plus 6 is negative 8. The cube root of negative 8 is negative 2. Then you're going to multiply it by 2. So negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And then negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. Okay, now let's take the negative 7. Negative 7 plus 6 is negative 1. So you have the cube root of negative 1, which is negative 1, multiply by 2, which is negative 2, and negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Okay, now let's do 5. Sorry, negative 5. If you do the cube root of negative 5 plus 6, negative 5 plus 6 is 1, so that would be the cube root of 1, which is 1. 1 times 2 is 2, and then 2 plus 1 is 3. Now, let's plug in 2. So, cube root, 2 plus 6 is 8. Cube root of 8 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So now let's graph that. Negative 14, negative 3, I can't graph, but negative 7, negative 1, I can. Negative 6, positive 1. Negative 5, 3. And 2, 5. Okay, so remember to start with your inflection point. Negative 6, 1 is the middle, so it's going to curve like this, and then going the opposite way is going to curve like that. So you can see that it does look to be stretched, so the 2 is going to make it stretch by 2. It should move left 6, which it did, and then up 1. The domain, again, is all real numbers for both of them, domain and range. Okay, here's another one that you can try on your own, but I'm going to go ahead and move on so this video doesn't take forever. All right, so just like with the square root function, we're going to write the domain of the cube root function without graphing. Now, here's a hint. What numbers can we take the cube root of? Well, we can take the cube root of all real numbers. So this is going to be real easy. The domain for cube root is always all real numbers. Super easy. All right, let's move on. Example 3. We want to use the given function f of x equals the cube root of x plus 5 minus 6 to write a new function. So this is just like we did when we had the square root function. Let's look at these transformations. When it moves to the right one, this is going to affect your h value, and you're actually going to subtract 1. So my h is inside the radical. I'm going to subtract 1 there. The up 2, that affects your k, and we're going to add 2 to it. So we're going to do that here. Now go ahead and write your new function. So f of x equals cube root, but when I subtract 1 from 5, I get 4. So that's going to be x plus 4. And then negative 6 plus 2 is minus 4. So there's your function there. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So this time, we have a reflection over the x-axis. That's going to make the beginning, since it was positive to start with, it's going to make it a negative. And it's going to move to the left 3, which is going to affect your h by adding 3. So we're going to add 3 to this. So we're going to have negative cube root of x plus 8, because 5 plus 3 is 8, and then the minus 6 does not change. You try these last two on your own, and then press play when you're ready to check your answer. All right, here are the answers for C and D. Hopefully you were able to get them correct. And that is it for today's video. If you have any questions, please let me know.